This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Some track and field news starting us off. The IAAF has provisionally suspended 28 athletes for suspected doping offenses at the 2005 and 2007 World Championships in Helsinki and Osaka. Most of the athletes concerned have since retired, and none are competing at this month's World Championships in Beijing. Now, a total of 32 rogue results from the two championships were uncovered after re-examining urine samples stored at a World Anti-Doping Agency accredited laboratory. The athletes who have been suspected cannot be named at this time for legal reasons, but we were able to catch up with B3A's boss Mike Sands to get his take on the matter.
I've not really familiarized myself with that area of it at this point because I know it's something recent and was in the thick of our election down in South America, down in Costa Rica, and so I'm not in a position to speak to it at this point.
Still talking track and field, American runner Nick Symmonds, who won the 800 meters at the U.S. trials, would not be making the trip to the World Championships after failing to sign the statement of conditions required of him by USA Track and Field. Nike is the official outfitter of USA Track and Field, and that was also Symmonds' sponsor for 7 years before he switched to Brooks in January of last year. And Symmonds said he wasn't clear on the rules and didn't want to compromise his relationship with Brooks. Now, a number of Bahamian track and field athletes are in a similar predicament to Symmonds, having a separate sponsor from the national sponsor, and the B3A's boss tries to give some clarity as to exactly what is expected from athletes in terms of their performance attire.
The understanding is very simple. The National Federation, in conjunction with its Olympic Federation, Olympic Association, Olympic Committee, has the authority to determine what that national brand would be. In the case of the Bahamas, we have an agreement with Puma, and that is with us and the Olympic Committee. That includes the apparel. The IAAF and the IOC, they have made provisions for that not to include the footwear.
We have more tonight from the Bahamas Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation's Nationals held last weekend. Lorraine Lafleur, she won the women's physique title, and she spoke about how she continues to stay on top of her game.
As always, every year, the same thing. Hit the gym, strict diet.
You tired of winning yet, or you still want to continue winning?
I love the sport. I can't get tired. I love the sport. I wait for my daughter to beat me now. When she beat me, then I'll retire.
For you tonight, when you came in here and you saw the room full with people, I guess that was a great feeling for you?
Oh yeah, that's the best feeling in the world, because from I started in 2007, I don't think I have ever seen this amount of people nor this amount of athletes. So I was more than happy when I saw it, because it feels like a new beginning, like a new turnaround.
So your impression is that Joel Stubbs and the guys, his new committee, they're doing a great job?
Oh, excellent, excellent. It's like I say, you could see it's all about the athletes.
The Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series hosting a triple header yesterday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. The Bahamas All-Stars on the floor first against the St. Louis Billikens. The home side got off to a slow start. They trailed 24-11 after the first quarter. That deficit grew to 17 at the end of 3, but from there, the All-Stars went to work and they came back to send this game into overtime. In that extra session, though, the All-Stars coming up just short, losing out 84-81.
We had a slow start because most of the players wasn't here on time. You know, it was an early game, being 5:30, and some of the guys got to get home from work, so the chemistry started off slow. So we were down 8 points at the half. Take a little while in the third quarter, we were still struggling, but as you can see, at the end of the third quarter, we began to pick things up, and then it continued on in the fourth, where we were able to tie the score and send the game into overtime. But what happened in overtime, even while we had the lead, just miscommunications on the press that caused a long 3-point shot, and then 2 crucial turnovers with under a minute left in the game that really hurt us.
The Real Deal Shockers also on court yesterday against the Youngstown State Penguins, and the visitors came out to play from the opening whistle. They led 31-18 after 1, 54-29 at the break, 77-47 after 3 before cruising to a 101-69 victory. Jordan Andrews leading the visitors with a game-high 23 points. Kamal Murphy had a side-high 12 for the Shockers, while Floyd and Brister and Salathiel Dean added 11 points apiece. Well, look who was at the Kendall Isaacs Gym yesterday. for the game between the UCF Knights and Patron Regulators. It's former NBA All-Star turned analyst Antonio Davis, and he definitely got his money's worth. We can tell you that the Knights, they got off to a fast start, outscoring the Regulators 26-8 in the first quarter. After a relatively even second quarter, the Regulators, they went to work in the third and pulled within 6 at 67-61. Now down the stretch, the Knights, they were just too strong. They go on for a 93-83 victory, and despite the 3 losses last night by the home teams, the local talent has been up to the challenge so far in the Summer of Thunder, and that's what it's all about.
It speaks about the organization of what we have done as a federation to ensure that these teams are ready this summer and continue to be ready for upcoming summers. With this being the off-season, the federation has put things in place where we will find facilities for these local teams to practice and prepare themselves and scrimmage amongst themselves to be in game shape. And that's the difference this year. The teams this year are now in game shape and playing with a little more chemistry as they would have in the regular season, and that's why the games are so close. And our coaches are very impressed and pleased with what they see here, and are looking forward to coming back and playing against this keen competition in the Bahamas.
Our swimmers have made their mark on both the regional and world stage in the past couple of years, and as Charles Fisher tells us tonight, there's another group of Bahamians also looking to make their presence felt in the pool.
The young polo players are back home following a rigorous and fast-paced 2-week training camp and competitions in Budapest, Hungary. Christian Kelman, better known as Coach Kel, traveled back to his native country to share the experience.
It was so great. What my biggest surprise was that all of the kids, they love the pools and the area around the pool. We got the Wi-Fi there, you can buy food and everything, and it's so pretty. The water is so cool. There was a big structure over the pool and the big shades this make. It was very, very comfortable, and they love the pool and they love the water polo practices.
6-hour sessions daily, mixing with tours of the country, was good exposure for 11-year-old Skylar Dean and 13-year-old Damien Gomez Jr.
It was basically the same as we did, but they were more advanced.
They do a bit of the same things. It's just that they learn more advanced moves. They'd turn us to the side to get past us.
The highlight of the trip for the boys and family members was that they got to watch poolside as the Hungarian senior national water polo team defeated Japan. Later in the same pool, our players, the Bahamas team, got a chance to square off with a local team.
There is more than 40-50 clubs around in Hungary, and we play against 3 different clubs, different coaches, so they got a lot of experience and the different levels, different skills they learned, and we saw the one of the players do other things what I never see before. They realize what is the real tough water polo, when you need to fight, you need to swim.
And with the success of this trip, plans are in the making to have the Hungarian team visit the Bahamas in the near future. For ZNS Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks a lot, Charles, and that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Same price, just